we got more scheduled up.
Oh, yeah.
Is Chris coming?
No, he's,
Oh, he couldn't be here tonight?
It's a cheap seat.
You're on.
okay, it is August 21st, 2023 at 6:30. If everyone would please stand. Invocation, pledge allegiance.
Our Father in heaven, we ask for thy blessing as we go through the agenda tonight, that we be able to do it in such a way as to get a lot done and to be able to have our minds open to things that we need to do as a council. Help us that we may always have thy people in mind, and that we may always strive to do what's best for our community. Father, we're thankful for all thou bless us with. We ask thee to temperate the weather so that our public works fellows may not have to be in so much heat. We ask for guidance and direction in all that we do, and we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, any announcements?
There will be a meet and greet for, this is on the 24th at the Deer Run Golf Course from 5 to 7.
Okay. I don't know if everybody knows, but the burn ban, we have a burn ban in effect, just so there's maybe somebody that doesn't get the word out or whatever. But, no burning.
Lots of signs out, so they ought to see.
Yeah, I hope so. There's a few that didn't see the sign. Any other announcements?
Yeah, I want to bring up the West Tawakoni Police Department email again. I'm going to keep trying to share that,
The
hopefully.
tip line?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, that's tips, TIPS, at westtawakoni.pd.org. That's tips, TIPS, at westtawakoni.pd.org. You can email your concerns or anything you need to get something to the police department that is not an emergency, 911 emergency, and they will get back to you.
Tips at westtawakoni.pd.org.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I think Paul's working on that.
Yeah.
That would be great. I don't know if we've got any park applications or not, but just to remind everybody, we need to get those in. Good. I can't think of anything else.
Cotton Patch Challenge, sorry, I don't have it yet.
Hey, Jack.
We have 7.
7?
7, okay, good.
Cool.
Good.
Do we have any citizens input related to the agenda items? Anybody? No, you guys don't. Good to see all you guys together. We're missing a few though, aren't we?
Yeah.
How many?
3.
3 or 4?
3.
Okay. I guess we'll move on from citizens input to consent agenda. Approval of minutes. We don't have any to approve. Approval of bills to be paid, and those to be paid. The approval of the financial report for July, court report for July, police department for July, public works order report, work order report, the completed and outstanding report for July, public works report, permit report, 23rd of July, code enforcement report, EDC minutes, keep walking beautiful minutes for July, and planning and zoning minutes, we have nothing. Moving on. We need a motion on the consent
Before we
agenda.
do a motion, I need to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Under Spartan's Powerhouse, what park equipment did we buy? That's on the general fund expenses by vendor. Spartan's Powerhouse.
How much was it?
There's one here for like $30.99, and then there's one for $108.72.
Oh, it's going to be parts.
Is that,
Lawnmower parts.
is that what it is?
Yes,
Park
that's
truck?
that's gonna be lawnmower parts to repair. I think one of them, the $100 and something one was the spring, I think. Spring setup for the little orange mower. Oh, the red one? Oh, it was the red one. The red one.
Just wondering.
Both of them may be for the same mower. Both of those parts may be for the same mower.
And the other thing that I noticed was on the water department, they put the Hunt County tax assessor bill under miscellaneous expense. And one of the things that we said we weren't gonna do was miscellaneous expenses for them this next year.
Well, yeah, you can't, that doesn't change this year.
I know, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering,
the miscellaneous line would come off for next year's budget.
okay, so I guess they'll have to find another place to put that.
Yeah, if that line ain't there, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
That's under, public works, is it?
Yeah, under water, it says Hunt County tax assessor, and it's under miscellaneous expense.
For how much?
I'll get my glasses on, I'm sorry.
I can read to it, 750, 15, and 22.
I mean, it's not that much money, but we said we didn't want anything to be under
Yeah.
miscellaneous.
$15 and $22 ones are probably, tags.
Yeah, registration.
Oh, yeah.
750 sounds like an inspection.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does, sounds like an
Yeah.
expense. So we just need to put that under a different line for next year.
She's got the tag for your trailer.
Okay, is that all on the consent agenda?
I'm sorry?
Is that all on the consent
Yeah,
agenda?
we just need to approve it. I'll
Yeah.
make a motion if we're ready.
Kevin made it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda items. I guess it would actually be B through I since there's nothing for A.
I second it.
For last month.
Kevin second, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon and I.
Pam Reed.
Moving on to old business discussion and our action on the city Facebook page. To be honest with you, with budgets and everything, I haven't given much thought to it, just to be honest about it. Is anybody here or any ideas? I figure a lot of this stuff's gonna kick off once we, like next month, we're gonna kick some of this stuff off. We're gonna have multiple meetings, I'm sure.
I think it's important. I kind of hate that we're missing 2 council members to make a decision on something like that.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we table it until next.
And that's what I was gonna say. I hate that we have to keep kicking this can down the road. But if I could add to her motion that if we table it, but it does come up on our very next regular session meeting, that we do make a note that we put it on our regular session meeting for next month. Because I personally, I've been outspoken about it. This is one that I would like to see happen because the citizens keep screaming for it.
I agree. It's just, I think we're in the logistics end of it. Who's gonna maintain it? Who's gonna operate it every day? 'Cause-
And hopefully we can figure that out next month, but as long as we got the motion
Yeah.
made that we're gonna table it with the
Okay.
sidebar of, we'll have it on next month's meeting, I will second that.
Okay, Pam first, Kevin second, all in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon and I.
Pam Reed.
Good.
I would like to say there is a program called GoGov that will run a Facebook page for you. And if you'd like, I can get more information on that and how it works.
I don't know if we use somebody that's not familiar with the area. Be my only
Well,
thought.
if it costs money, we don't want to do it.
Yeah, we can't do it.
We'll figure out how to do
But
it.
hold that thought.
But yeah, it could be free, but I doubt it. There's not a whole lot in life that's free.
Moving on to number 8, new business, discussion and/or action on the city of West Tawakoni forming a committee or board for the park in regards to name, how many members, et cetera. Kim's already alluded to, there's 7 applications.
I did a lot of research on different areas around that have park boards and what they allow them to do. So I printed off this kind of copy of all my investigation on it.
Is this like-sized towns?
Huh?
Are these like-sized towns?
Yes. And they were from all different states, not from just here. So I thought this was a starting spot. It's not obviously what we will do here, but it is a starting spot on what we want to see the board do, where at least we have some goals for them.
Okay, anything else on it?
So we're talking about what we were thinking about naming this, right? And then how many members. I kind of like the 7 that it's called out in some of your research that's done.
Mhm.
That's a decent number that you can usually end up with a pretty good quorum.
Yes.
We talked about having some, alternates.
Alternates.
Yeah, and my vision on it is to have, I'll use Kathy O'Neill as an example. She's been knee deep in the market on the lake. And let's say let's just assume for a moment that she didn't really want to get on the park board. Well, she could consult.
She might want to be, I guess maybe we call them auxiliaries or.
Or someone to consult, that someone else from the park board could go to and, hey, how do you do this? How'd you do this? How do you do that? Just kind of a consultant type thing is kind of what I'm looking for. Because if you don't step outside the committee and start asking around, you'll never learn anything.
So are we thinking that those alternates, they wouldn't have a vote really? It
No.
would just be a extension of
Yeah,
the board, so.
I mean, I guess we could have a board of 7 and 10 people, and the 10 people give their input, but only 7 vote. I mean, I'm thinking outside the box a little bit.
Most of the areas are 7-member board. So that's right in line with what most other cities are doing.
I think how we could do that.
Yeah,
Because it would be nice for other people, other citizens to have some input in it, but obviously you can't have 30 people or whatever voting. I'm kind of thinking about it sort of like an HOA is, right? We have an HOA board, but then you have all your people who live in the HOA, they're members, essentially. So,
But the
I mean,
problem,
I kind of hate for us to limit it to,
Just those
say 3, right? Say 7 actual voting members, which is kind of like most HOAs have a board of members that actually vote on things, right? But then your whole neighborhood, once, twice, 3, 4 times a year, will get together, you'll have a board meeting and everybody kind of gives their ideas. And then it's voted on by the board members, sorry, not the members. So,
I don't think we can actually do that here where we would take votes from the outside members.
Well, it
We can
wouldn't-
take
no,
suggestions.
it wouldn't be votes, it would be, like I'm saying, you'd have your 7 board members that are voters, that have voting membership power, right? I guess you'd call it power, whatever. But then you would have other members within the community that are not voting members. But they would speak to those 7 board members about their ideas, right? Because everybody in this room could have a different idea and all be good.
In an HOA, all members get to vote. All of them get a vote according to their number of lots in the HOA.
Yeah, but doesn't other HOA members, non-board members, give input and their ideas, input, stuff like that?
Yeah,
I
but
think
they
that's where
also
you're
get
going.
Right.
votes. They also get votes.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a
right,
little bit different.
yeah, you would get votes. I mean, I'm in an HOA too. I'm president of our HOA. And so we have board meetings that have voting that goes on with all the HOA members, but that's not every single meeting because there's things that have to come up. And the people the citizens in our neighborhood have elected us to be the board members. They trust us to make decisions throughout the year, but not any one of us says, okay, we're gonna spend $1,000 on something without us board members discussing it, but we don't try to bother the whole neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood trusts us to make those decisions throughout the year. That's kind of what I'm talking about, that you would have people that would be able to give suggestions, because I don't want to count anybody out. What I don't want, the reason why I'm saying this is I don't want to count out a resource, because that's kind of what you can do. is if you hog tie this thing, you may count out a resource that somebody may just moved in and they want to become a member of the park board, not a voting member. There's a difference, right? We didn't have to figure out how to clarify that. But if somebody came in, they could be a heck of a resource that they're like, oh man, this park board, what is this? It's cool. I want to get on that. I want to get on there. And they're just an idea giver, or sometimes could be a money giver, or a do something giver.
I mean, you and,
Y'all been involved in
yeah,
stuff like
you
that.
and Robin have been totally involved in the Christmas, for instance. I mean, y'all know that Christmas, I don't know how many years you did it, but it's a long time.
Well, 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, I mean, y'all would be interested in giving feedback and things, direction and stuff like that, would you?
Yeah, we might do that.
But you might not want to be tied up in every single meeting.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't want to be the one
Don't want
that,
to
I
go out
can't be at
and
the
do it.
meeting, so you can't make a quorum. But, you know, you may make every other meeting
Right.
to say, hang on, guys, I dealt with that. And it kind of nails us in the side.
It
I
takes a
wouldn't do that.
village.
So I don't know how we do that, but I don't know. I think we should have voting members. I like the 7, but I think we should have a way that people could actually have a voice at the meetings. Because would these meetings, you think they're going to be kind of like ours are, and say EDCs and P and Z meetings?
I would think so. It wasn't in the past. It's like structured.
Yeah, I mean, these are just going to be, they're not gonna be like that. They wouldn't have to be like that, right?
I don't think the park board before was, so structured, except when it comes to voting, do what.
Graham, I feel like this is going to be something along the same lines of, and we could probably pull from Keep West Tawakoni Beautiful, right? This is going to be kind of the same thing, but it's going to have a different focus. So
It was run before, just like Keep West Tawakoni Beautiful, and just like anything else, everything we do.
right, the focus was just the park, right? So
Okay.
are we want to try to make a decision on something tonight, or we're just talking about it?
It looks like to me, the last time it was done, there was an ordinance and the bylaws were all there and present, and the membership was all there and present before it was voted on by the council.
Yeah, and to copycat from those bylaws and all that for what we're trying to do wouldn't make any sense.
No, but, and some of the things that she has on her sheet there, she might pick and choose some of those.
Because what
I'm just saying they had it all.
Yeah. I
You know,
see what
you
you're
want to
saying.
just vote and to do something and then try to figure it out later.
But can we all be in agreement that this is a park board or park committee, whichever it's to be called, is driven by events rather than driven by maintenance?
Oh, I mean, I think that's,
Yeah, one of the things that I have on here is that the board itself should set a strategic direction that adopts goals relating to the mission of the board. So that the board itself would come up with exactly what they want to do with this. It's not just on us to do it.
Well, we'll have to give them some kind of guideline, or they're gonna come up with what we had before.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so that's.
Some of them might wanna build something out there, some of them might wanna,
Right.
and if you're wanting more of an event planning thing, then we're gonna have to specify that somewhere
Yeah.
before it starts,
So-
before it starts.
I agree,
This
I
is
agree.
kind of what I thought was a beginning spot to look at some of these things that are on here that are from other places. I always think it's better to look and see what other places are doing and then try to go from there.
Okay, anything else on that item? Chair would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we entertain the name of Park Board for this.
Park board,
Park.
Well, I've seen some stuff out there. People are making a distinction between board and committee, and to me, it's the same. But I don't know.
Board gives you a little bit of authority and committee.
can we go ahead and add on there that they're gonna have 7 members? Yeah, I think that's a good number.
Yeah, I think we actually said that.
We may have, but I mean,
Original
so we can go ahead and nail that down. And we had 7 members, and then I guess at some point, we've got to start looking at these applications, right?
Yes.
So do we want to say 7 voting members in case we do the other?
There you go.
I like that, yeah.
Jack, do you have any input on that?
Sure. Well, I have a ton of ideas kicking around in my head. But I like what y'all are saying. Call it a board, 7 voting committee members. It makes sense to have the equivalent of a town hall or something where there can be, because you're doing it for the community, so the community should definitely be involved in having a say of what they would like to see happen in the city park. So I like all the ideas that y'all are talking about here.
As we move forward, like the next month, I know there was something, the Facebook page moving to a regular session next month. I don't know if any of y'all know this, but the, help me out, the money, the Breed Love,
Lewis,
yeah, I've got a number tag here.
the budget,
No, not the budget, it's,
no, audit.
audit, thank you.
Now you made my brain.
Anyway,
start going
they're
blank.
finished with the audit, but he couldn't do it this month. He already had a pre-engagement, so next month he's gonna be at a regular meeting. I have no idea how long the presentation is gonna last, so we can't, if we load up next month's meeting, then we're gonna go it's gonna be a long meeting if we load too
I
much.
got
up.
you. I can see what you're saying.
So if we can make the motion that we name this the park board and accept 7 voting members to it, and at least get that much out of the way.
Yes.
And I mean, I may be remembering all of our conversations about this incorrectly, but I didn't think that we as the council were going to try to come up, which we're going to give them guidelines like Leon said, but I thought we were going to have them come back to us with bylaws and all this other stuff,
Correct.
the members. So to me, it sounds like we're pretty much on the way of, you made a motion, right?
Right.
So we said the 7 voting members, and we're gonna call it the park board. So now we're at the point where we need to get these 7 voting members put in place and say, okay, you guys come back to us, but here's the thing. We as the council expect you guys not to be a maintenance identifier, but to bring stuff to the park, right? Whether it be stuff that's new, I mean, somebody may find a grant, who knows, that none of us know about.
And that's not to say they won't bring any maintenance things. I mean,
No,
it could
that's
be
fine, but we
something
don't want
we
that to be their
were-
first focus. We want that
Yeah,
first focus
yeah.
to be events,
Right.
promoting our park
Right.
and trying to,
And that's fine, but we gotta get a second on what
How
I
about,
said.
how about
well,
we
and
call
I'm
it,
trying to make sure we're,
how about we call it Park and Entertainment Board or Event Board,
Park and event board.
Or just park event.
Park Event Board, yeah.
park event board.
If that's the way if the direction you want it to
See
go.
what you're saying, yeah, kind of ties it to that directly. by
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was clear to me a couple meetings ago that it was only around events, so I'm gonna assume that it was clear to everybody else that applied.
Leon saying park event boards kind of keeps it fresh to events.
And then we don't have to put guidelines out there.
Yeah.
It
So
says
park
events right
event,
in
so
the
it's gonna
name.
be called Park Event Board with 7 voting members. I second that motion.
Okay.
Well, Pam had a motion on the board. Are you
Yeah.
okay, Pam?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All in favor?
Kevin Feathers.
Leon Meyer.
Pam Reed.
Unanimous. Moving on, number 9, water sewer general fund. Kim, is that what this one right here that you gave up to us?
That's
This
that's
is-
the
this is-
certified taxable appraisal.
Well, not this.
Oh,
This is,
the budget from last week, yeah. The one that was in your packet, some of them are still going on.
so we're looking at the water sewer. And maybe put the cart before the horse here.
You put it in here?
I don't think so.
Real quick,
Why not?
I think the,
Water sewer's not in the packets, Jim. Just check on phone
oh,
line.
it's not, okay. Well, I'm trying to get to the bottom problem. It was done. I know we talked about, or the council talked about adding a part-time officer. And according to the numbers, the FICA and salary, and I don't know what else, put it at 38,000, lower 38,000 over. And there was also something else that took it to 53,665. But I'm remembering $100,000. Yeah, it's $100,000. Right now, we're dealing with $100,000. And there the last meeting that I didn't attend, there was all kinds of increases made on line items to what was already existing overage. And so now we're up to 100, but with the new tax rate, the certified tax roll, we're looking at 135 to 100, almost $200,000 over budget. We got too much money budgeted for too little income. If you read on the certified tax appraisal 2023, in red are some notes. And I knew that's what my fear was. My fear was that last year, 2022-23, we had budgeted 436, 359, and we brought in 435, so we were right on the money. My concern is that we were increasing it to 445. Had the SB2 not been passed, that would be a good number. But now we find out that is not a true number. That 445, 300 on line on the tax roll current 1.50.115. That number is not right. I don't know where that number came from, but.
So what are we looking at our actual number being this year? 410 on the voter approval rate? Would be
Well,
Not voter approved.
if you go with a no new tax, it's 74,634. If you do the voter approval rate, it's $34,558.55, which brings us back close, but still off. And I don't know if we can get.
Well, I was looking at the revenues here. The no new rate's 376.65, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then your proposed revenue with voter approval rate's 410,740, which, I mean, that's
410,740.
Right here.
It's 41,000. Okay, 074. Yeah.
well, it's 410,000.
Oh, you're talking about the
This one right
yeah,
here.
I got it.
The revenue for the year, which is what you were talking about, line 1.50.115, tax roll current, and we brought in 435, which is the actual for 8/11. That's not going to be where we're going to finish. We budgeted 445, so we should exceed our budget of income.
I don't think we're going to, because this House Bill 2, this Senate Bill 2 that passed.
To finish this year.
Oh, to finish this year, yeah.
So we should be okay this year finishing.
Yeah.
But
It's next year.
But we're saying that we're gonna drop down $25,000.
Well, from what I understand, this SB2 is retroactive back to this past January. So that's what Brent South, the chief appraiser, told me.
So they're gonna pull money back out of the city?
Well, no, this is for, it's January's taxes. I don't know,
It's not
but
in the
I mean, they're gonna
bill,
get-
it's not in the bill for it to be
Are they gonna, I
retroactive.
mean, they would have to give people refunds, I would think.
I don't know,
If that was the case.
that's what he was
Yeah.
saying to me.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either, and it's not in the official bill from the state of
I mean, I'll
Texas.
take it if they're gonna give us refund.
The state of Texas,
They've got
Doesn't
crazy
have
different
any more
taxable in
tools.
25.
Hopefully my wife's watching. Okay, so I guess we need to get down to the nitty gritty of what we gotta do here. So we're guessing if we go with voter approved rate will be 25,000 less, right?
Mhm.
If we go with no new rate at all, then we're gonna be 65,000 less.
I don't think we can do that with what we need on our budget, just for
Right.
general stuff.
No, my concern is, I mean, when you start talking general fund stuff, we can't cut out places, we can't cut out roads. There's not that many places to take it from. I noticed one here, and this is, we're talking small change, but the mixed beverage tax use, back in 21-22, there was a budget of 7,500, we brought in 3,100. For 22-23, we budgeted 6,000 and brought in right at 12,000. And now we're budgeting 8,100. That 12,000 that we actually brought in for this year, part of that is the fat cats.
Yeah.
Our mixed
Yeah.
beverage use tax was elevated and exploded from fat cats, because that's Rancheros is the only place we get that from.
So we're gonna vote on, don't we have the tax rate this week?
Right here,
Yeah,
Well, but I mean, to vote on
we
it.
don't have it on this
We
agenda.
well, we can't vote on it.
We ain't got enough people.
We're gonna.
No, I'm saying, don't we have it on our agenda throughout the week? I can't remember. I don't have it.
It's, I get on that.
I thought I had everything.
They're in that packet.
Here we go.
I think it's on the
I
agenda.
think it's the one on Wednesday night.
And where's the hotel tax on income?
Proposed tax rate. It's
That's
on,
occupancy tax.
okay, it's on,
I don't see occupancy tax on there.
okay, so it's on Wednesday night.
Restricted, it's under restricted funds.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna be hard for us to, tax rate, we probably should have that on tonight. Because it's gonna be hard for us to figure this out until we know what we're gonna go with, or what we're gonna go with. Right,
We have to have four city members.
right, well, it's not even on the agenda till Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So we're not gonna have any way of knowing what our tax income is gonna be until we vote on that. So I think we kinda got the cart before the horse.
That's kind of what I was,
And I think it happens that way every year.
Because we don't
Well-
get that very early.
we usually get from CAD the number, all the appraisals and appraised value and all that stuff. We usually have that, but before now. But for some reason, I think we just got it today or Friday or something. We're just not getting it in our hands, and that's what's adjusted is. Kim, when did we get this new tax rate? We got it Friday or today?
Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon.
I bought it this morning. She said we can be $35,000 short for the voter approval rate, or $64,334.32 with no new rate.
Right.
And that's
64
not
or
counting what
74?
we're short already.
Mhm.
Well, we can't,
Until we vote on what
Yeah,
rate
we
we're
can't-
going with, we don't know
yeah.
what, we don't know what dollars are gonna be brought in. So I don't even
Can't do
know
it.
what we do here.
and I don't know, I mean, we could, take either one of the rates and run with it and try to find the difference. But I think we're just gonna be spinning our wheels. But it seems like it's later, because now we used to do budgets, we had these tax rates and we knew what the estimated
Yeah, let's-
tax
Like
roll
this
we
year.
were gonna bring in. And for some reason, either that or we've always waited, well, we always started the workshops in August. But I don't know if we were finished in August.
So we've still got, I don't, I mean, I guess we could start kind of skimming down through the income side of things to see what we missed. And I just thought of one that I think that we probably were, I think we were really.
I think the proposed budget under, city, sales and city, use tax city, 1.50-117 on page 1. You got the budget at 142. That's an awful bold jump from 117. That's bold. When I don't see any businesses or anything.
Well, you've had a fishing store come in, you've had
A thrift store come
a
in.
thrift store. What else? We had some-
Nutrition
we had
shop.
something else.
Nutrition
They're not
shop.
on,
Yeah,
I
we had
think they're
we had
good
something
water.
else.
The other one
Hair shop.
Is,
is the hair shop.
is Circle K up
Oh,
there
Circle K.
increasing? Are they increasing?
Yeah, but they didn't do
Monthly?
it last year though. Last year.
Not really. I remember fighting with them in November.
Not
I
last
don't-
November.
The liquor store on Circle K opened up in the last few months too.
Yeah, the liquor store, Circle K, but I swore I thought Circle K just opened up the first part of this year. I'd have to go back and look at my text message.
Yeah,
So do
They were supposed to. What you were being told, and I kept fighting with them, they were supposed to, but I'm telling you, I think they've only got barely a year under their belt. They have not been open very long.
That's
Almost
last
sure.
year.
I'm almost sure of it.
He knows.
When did they open?
When did they open?
Yeah,
You were there.
you were there.
You've been here a year, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you've been
So,
here a year, so they barely a year?
No,
no, he was there for a while.
they opened in, I
They were
believe,
closed.
December of not last year, but the year
So,
before.
Yeah,
And then they
before that.
closed back up
right,
and reopened in, I believe, March of last year. So they've been open for about a year and some
March
months.
of last year, so we realized those taxes.
yeah, but that's not very much.
From March
I guarantee
to
you,
March,
they were really slow
March to
starting off.
August.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, we haven't started seeing anything from them until the last, I'm gonna give them a lot, 6 months.
Mhm.
That store has been very, very slow until they've just now starting to come around.
I just want everybody to be aware of it.
So I do know what you're saying, I appreciate it too, but I think that we do have some businesses that are coming.
You're talking $35,000 increase in sales tax.
I don't think that's that much.
I think that
Because
there's
I
some
think,
businesses that are coming, I think we'll make that up pretty easy.
yeah, but they're only on sales tax, that should be beds and heads.
Yes, ma'am.
Beds
Not
and
only
heads.
that,
Heads and heads.
Yeah.
Hotel tax.
Heads and beds, whatever.
I mean, there is some potential businesses that
I think we're
would
fine there. I think we,
definitely up that rate.
All right, well, I just want to bring it to everybody's attention.
I think we missed the park income. I think we're under on that. We've already realized 5470.
Is it on page 2?
No,
no,
it's
it's page one.
1.50.105. I think.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
I mean, I'm not saying this is
Where
what you
did
did.
money come from? Where did the 500 come from?
There's been a lot of RVs in
There's
there,
been a lot of rentals.
and I think that's gonna continue to be more. And so I think we really, no, I'm not saying by no tens of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
but I think we undershot that. We're already at almost $5,500,
Yeah.
and we're only saying we're gonna make 6,500. Well, we still got a couple months to go in this year.
Yeah.
So I think we need to raise that one to probably 8,500 or 9,500.
I don't think we can make it in the next 2 months.
I'm not saying the next 2 months, but I would for
Next
sure to
year.
think that next year is gonna be better than the year prior, unless we get another pandemic, which we're not, if all of us sitting here could predict that, we would be rich.
And if you start having events in the park.
Because I would invest in every freaking kind of disinfectant there is out there. Just saying. So we can't predict those things.
Problem is they give all that away.
Huh?
Give all
I know the government buys it.
Yeah, they pay pretty good.
That's why I would be investing in it. It gets sold, trust me. I don't know, guys. I think we undershot that one, but the only way we're gonna try to even start to climb this mountain is I think starting and going through here and look at our income and then our expenses. I would hate for us to go straight to our expenses and start chopping it off. Well, let's look at our incomes and make sure that we short ourselves up correctly and then go to our expenses.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
we do have the ability to carry over some of this too.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know.
Because we've got quite a bit more in our account than we had last year.
Yeah, can we start at the park income and us come to an
Yes.
agreement there? What do y'all want to increase? I think we could, I personally believe we could
You're
increase.
talking about general fund carryover? Oh,
Right
that's
now
from
we're
2
talking-
years ago.
I think on your park, your number is, that you're
We
looking
had
at is
2
probably
years
good
ago was
because in the
44,000.
past, we
This
haven't
year
charged
is
people for
72.
events, like the people putting on the event, and we're.
Well, I think it needs to be
doing that now,
increased.
So
I
that's
think
gonna
it needs-
raise it a lot.
I think it needs to be increased. 6,500 is low because just what you just
That's
said,
what
we
I'm
already
saying.
talked about, we're gonna start charging for events. All the free events in our park, I mean, yes, we may give a concession here and there, but this whole, our park's wide open and use all the electricity you want, water you want, whatever. I mean, come on. Go to Dallas and ask them to use theirs.
Right, because that'll lower our expenses and bring up our income. So I think it's like 9,500 is probably a pretty good number.
I mean, I feel like we could increase that one by 25 or 3,000 easily.
We can do that.
What do you guys want to do? We gotta come together on
Park income,
something. 6,500, you wanna make it 9,000?
do that.
So that's,
I would be better with 85,
so plus,
8,500.
so plus 2. Okay,
What do you mean plus 2?
Well, we got
65.
65, we're making it.
Oh, yeah.
if you write them down like that and you wanna do your own math, it's really easy, because you can just go down and put all your pluses and minuses and
Yeah.
She got an extra pen over there.
take your total.
Mhm.
Here's one.
I didn't ask her, I just know.
She giving me the look.
That was her favorite.
I'll use that.
So,
I know where you're at.
I would not change anything on the sale and use tax at all. I really think it's gonna be right at that. I think our mixed beverage tax, I know Fat Cats is gone, but I have suspicions that there will be another restaurant open, not for sure, but I have suspicions there will be. And I also think that part of that mixed beverage tax was also from some of the events we had in the park where they went ahead and got sold mixed beverages and
I
collected.
don't know if we got anything for those minutes for this over
They
there.
were supposed to.
No, you-
They didn't.
I didn't think so, no.
That was part of our
We made
reason.
0 off of that event.
I thought that was part of our reason to let them have the park. We had asked for that.
So are you saying you would like us to try to increase that one some?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Plus 1.
Want to increase it by 1,000 or
Yeah, that's one.
so 80 or 9,100?
Yeah.
Okay. Shannon, do you think your permits are all on spot? Your building permits, electrical permits, plumbing permits, did you take a very good look at those?
For what we did this year, yes. For the insights on what potentially is coming to us. I think we're gonna drastically exceed that.
That's
but
what
I'm afraid
I
to
think the
say
same thing, but I hate for us to put it on there and not, right?
That's my fear too.
So I think you're right. I think we have a safety net out there, but it needs to be used as exactly
Yeah.
that. The only reason why I was asking is, I feel like, what are our culvert permits?
$30 if they do it themselves,
Okay,
which is about
I couldn't
average for
remember.
those cities.
it's been a few years since I put mine in, so I couldn't
Now,
remember.
if they don't do it themselves, if the guys do it, it's based on what
Yeah.
the culvert cost and
Yeah.
hourly rate and, all of that stuff.
So I don't see anything else on that page that we can
I don't either.
potentially increase, so.
What full permit, how is, we started any full, we got 150 in full permit.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot in full permits.
I got mine up. Got my culvert.
Well, it's a one-time permit.
Um,
Don't you think we'll have more accident police reports? With more people on.
I don't know.
Hopefully not.
But as we get busy out here, don't you think there will be a little bit more?
It'd be nice to get some citation.
municipal court. And we did increase that one by, we increased it by 11,000 over the last year.
Mhm,
Well, no, we're the way they're writing.
mhm.
Are they? Is it almost turned back into a full-time job
I mean,
now?
that one probably could have been an even, that one probably could have been an even
And we
100.
have, MVDA's working on our collection.
Oh, that's new too, that's last year.
Chief, does that make sense? If we made that an even 100,
They're doing good.
huh?
Yeah,
I would think.
Plus 9,
We still got,
1.52.134,
Yeah, I agree with that.
plus 9,000.
So we're the 112.
Yes, ma'am.
we still got a few months and we're at 78 with it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's kind of where I was going with it. And you've still got as many, well, you've got more officers, right? Can I count?
we got three. We got three.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Part of this year, he only ran
One,
with just 2 of them,
Mhm,
him and one other.
yeah.
So I think we're safe with adding 9 to that one.
does the municipal court also include, municipal citations for, code violations?
Yeah.
It does, okay. But we get, don't we get some of that revenue, code enforcement violations, whereas the police department, we don't?
How the crap do I need to figure that out?
The city gets, it goes back into municipal court? Okay.
Kim, do you know what other income is?
Other income, and the internet talks about it, about getting rid of it.
The other income, because, well, I think we brought,
$7,000.
I thought we
Got
brought-
actuals, yeah.
So,
I thought we brought that up as a question, maybe not. I don't know how it would. But there's $7,600 in there. What the heck is that?
yeah, where did the $7,600 come from? Is the question.
If you go back up to 1.52.137,
Uh-huh.
we can increase that.
Increase now.
Warrants on old citations.
Yes.
Are we using a program?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
Um,
talk to us, tell us.
Plus
I
hours.
would go +3 right now.
I don't know
So
who's gonna say
You
make
want
it 5.
$5,000 on
Yes.
it? Okay.
What was that check? $900 today?
I forgot about that system.
We got a $900 check today for 4 days worth of collection.
Wow.
I'll pay you this.
Yeah,
Sweet.
because they
Okay.
can't get their driver's license.
Yeah.
Hey, Chief, what happened with the gaming permits, the gaming machine permits? Was that something you're working with the county on?
Well,
We didn't really want, because the only place they can put game rooms and stuff is in, I think it's industrial. The only place known for industrial is off Maze Lane.
But there are some, right?
There's one out
I thought there
on
was some at the
276, not close to that.
VFW.
Yeah, but they're not in the
But they're-
city.
They're not in the
outside,
city.
yeah, they're outside
What?
the city
But
limits.
they're county, not city.
Who?
The ones that,
Yeah, no, that was
Game
down
room.
there, but I was thinking some of our clubs had,
The VSOs were rare, you ain't had. Oh, the permits we would.
Yeah,
What
is that
about
service club?
Billy's?
service clubs. Thought they had some.
Did Billy's have one at one time?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did.
I don't know.
No, Billy's took them out.
Took 'em
Okay,
out,
so we
yeah.
don't need, we budgeted 900 last year. We didn't see anything on it. So we just need to leave that nothing. We're not messing with those. I didn't know. I knew you were working with the county on it, but you were trying to make sure that we were within their guidelines.
Well, because the county makes them pay,
Right.
the service clubs and stuff makes them pay and get the inspection from them. So it was almost like we're doubling.
Okay. Then we don't want to do that. That's kind of wrong. I guess let the county handle it.
But if any new ones come in to the city that we let, then we'll do permits on them.
I mean, I hate to be this way, but it's a reality. At some point, it's going to happen. With our new animal control that we budgeted for this year,
That registration.
I think, I mean, crap, it was, how much is it? I can't remember when I.
it's $10.
Yeah, it's $10.
It's $10 per household for pets.
Yeah.
And
For
if you
pets?
are 63 or older or can prove you are on Social Security disability income, then it's nothing.
And it's every year.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. They have to
Right.
bring in a rabies vaccine and registration.
It's every year.
It's one of their
So
dollars.
somehow we've got to figure out how to manage that.
That's a tough one to enforce.
Actually, we've been getting some.
And so, I mean, heck,
Yeah.
mine's $40.
No, it's $10 straight
Oh, that's right.
across.
I brought you $40. And
Yes.
I was like, no, it's 10. That's right. I forgot.
She took it though, didn't
No, she gave it back. I'm like, well, you could have kept it and went and ate lunch and I would have never known no difference.
It's $2 per house.
Okay, so it's $10 per household, but I mean, I know in my neighborhood, I can really quick say there's 8. So my neighborhood's not the only neighborhood in the city.
Right, I say there's
So
eight in my
there's-
neighborhood too.
there's-
Well, and I'm trying to find them
So there's
where I
80,
can get pictures of them and
So-
send them a notice saying, hey.
so there's
these gotta be
$80.
registered.
There's $80 right there. And I'm not trying to say we attack our city, but still,
Well, but we are trying to get them to register
It's-
them, and if they don't register them, then they can issue tickets.
the way
on
we,
them.
the way we do gentrification, is that the right word? Is by things like this.
it? Well, gentrification is not really a good thing for the citizens of the city.
Well, I'm saying, we're gonna change our city,
You want to,
and I'm sorry, we all don't want to, I mean, we're not gonna admit it, but that is gentrification.
Mhm.
It is. So there's a lot of people that want change, there's a lot of people that don't want change. Humans by nature don't want change because it's change, exactly that. But it's gonna happen.
okay, so we know that.
I mean, I got $80 in my neighborhood,
Yeah, and I've got $80 in my neighborhood.
right? So
Right.
there's $160 we're off.
Right,
So
I'm sure you got 80 in your neighborhood.
I'm sure there's 80 running up
Right.
that rabbit cove.
That's just 2 neighborhoods, 3 neighborhoods.
So go ahead,
So-
300?
That's being very, very kind.
yeah, 300, I think would be a good number for there. And we just need to start,
So that was
Doing
plus
it.
225. Okay. We've got to get those done. I wish Michael was here. Those grease trap inspections have to start happening.
Is Public Works over the grease trap inspection?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
TCU.
Seeing right now, I think we would only have two. Dale's and Rancheros, maybe
Billy.
Billy's,
Yeah, have to be Billy.
Billy's has to
so
have.
three. I don't know about Circle K. I don't
They
even
got-
know, are
I
they
think they
actually
have-
doing
they have
regular
one.
food again?
Well, they
Yeah,
have.
they got, yeah, they paid.
They have, it don't matter if they're doing food,
But they don't use it.
it doesn't matter if they're doing food or not. If they got a grease trap, it has to be inspected.
So that'd be four.
Mhm.
Um,
Golf course.
Golf
They
course?
don't
What about the
You know, they
service
don't.
club that-
They do there?
Yeah, see, I don't know about the service clubs at Cook, if they got grease traps or
Well,
not.
Ambit should.
Michael might know that.
Do the other two, I don't know if the other two do food. I know Ambit does.
Well, you got the dog store too.
Mhm.
So we've got 5 or so,
Six.
5, 6, whatever.
How much is it per inspection?
I wanna
I'm
say
gonna-
it's $75.
I'm gonna say $75
but
'cause
I'm
we
not
got one.
100%
Oh, okay.
sure.
Looks like we got one. So, I mean, we've gotta have 4. So that's $300, right? But,
So.
so we've got it,
Eight,
well, no, we've got it listed at 420, well, where'd I go? Crap.
425.
We got it listed at 425. What I was saying is we've gotta make sure we get those done. I think we would leave it alone.
Yeah, let's leave the money alone
Let's see.
and just say we've gotta get it done.
Well, I don't add up anyway.
And I can't remember, it's not a once a year thing either. It's either 2 or 3 times a year. I think it's 3 times a year, honestly. that You're supposed to do them.
Well, that amount doesn't even work out to any real math. So it should either be 450 or it should be 375, because it's $75 a piece.
Yeah.
So that math don't even work out.
Let's go to
Unless they've
450
done
on
it
it.
3 times and it's only $25 a piece.
Let's do 450.
Yeah, I think we need to
And then we need to
make
make
that
sure
one
that that's
450, and
happening.
that's 5 of them,
Mhm.
or was it 5 or 6? But anyway, so that one needs to be plus $25. You got that one, Kim?
Mhm.
1.52.161 plus $25.
Yes, sir. I was trying to figure out the 125.
We're rolling now.
Did you see where it was off though? It was like 5.66666666.
I was
Almost made me throw my phone. Not superstitious. Just don't like that.
Okay, we're moving on page 3.
Page 3. So now we're into expenses.
Now we're into expenses.
So what did we gain? 2, 3, 6,
Very much.
15,250 I think.
Do we expect to get any more insurance reimbursement?
And that was an off one.
You remember like automobiles.
Damn, man,
We got 2 plus
we got
1 is
9,000
3,
this year.
right?
Probably one.
Plus 9,
Like on page 2.
plus 3.
Yeah,
Oh, I see, that's it. I forget what that was for.
we overpaid them
That's
on
15.
some.
So it's 15,000 plus $250.
CML does our,
Plus
That's
your,
a great figure.
plus your 225 and
insurance, we got that.
225, so. That gained us
no, we got one after
15,250.
pickup.
And I don't see any for prior years, yeah, probably
Yeah.
a one time deal.
That gained us 15,250.
Okay, so on your CSI, 1.52.169, that's not a permit, that actually is an inspection. And that number is not,
What was the last one, the last part of it?
I gotta find it, I'm sorry, 169. It's in red, it's the second
Oh.
red thing.
I was not.
Okay, so those inspections are $150 a piece, so if you divide that by 150, you get 61.33333. So that's not an even number either. And those are not permits, those are strictly inspections.
Okay, so,
Well, it says CSI permit, not inspection.
Right, but that's not what it is. We charge for them with the permits because the CSI inspection is a state required inspection, but it's not a permit.
Okay, so I'm scratching permit and,
It needs to say CSI inspection,
not.
and they're $150 a piece.
So that one should be 9,300. Is that what you're telling me?
Works for me.
9,300, yeah.
So add another $100 to that line. So our total addition is 15,350.
Added from the.
Yes, sir, on income.
Yeah, on that, yeah, I got mine. You
Uh,
said 15?
$15,350, yes, sir. This one's gonna get tough, guys. Does anybody want to take a pay cut? I mean, I don't mind, I'll take one.
You know, one thing we don't have in here under
Just kidding.
income that I am getting inquiries about, and it would be $100 a year, or if they want a long-term permit, that should be short-term also. Honestly, don't remember what short-term is. It's food trucks. As long as they're licensed with, the health department does all the
Oh,
inspections.
trust me, I would love to see us have a
So I actually have
once a
a,
quarter food truck event or
I
something
had
would
some
be
that want to
awesome.
set up regularly. And they've talked to businesses around here, and some of the businesses are willing to let them set up in their parking lots.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's $100 a permit.
Write us an
And how
ordinance,
many do
And
you
we
think we
have
could
some
get?
inquiring. I mean,
write us an ordinance. Bring it, bring it.
well, we've already got a fee for it.
We've already got people.
We've already got a permit fee
Why don't you
for it.
charge them?
I had to, well, I had to get in touch with the health department, make sure they had everything. Now I'm trying to get back in touch with them.
That's on them,
But
that
we
ain't you.
we could probably put 300 to 500 under like a food truck permit, but we don't have a line item for it, so I don't know where we would put it.
We would
Under
need a
per-
new line
under-
item.
You put it under permits.
We'll make them.
No, you just put it, where was that? I seen something that was permits. Just permits. Yeah.
Vendor permit maybe?
Yes, that was it. That's it. Vendor permits, so you're telling me we need to make that,
200.
you need to make that one 1,000?
I don't know if I'd go that high, but I mean,
500
Thought I
on.
had you.
She said we could make 300 easily, so.
I know, I was-
already at 200,
I was
so
yanking
let's-
away.
Let's
So we'll
make it
make it
500.
plus 300.
yeah, I think we could probably do that.
Our total raise is 15,650.
Do they also have to pay for that anytime there's an event and they want to?
That was 1.50,
I mean, if they have a
1.133.
permit for the
First page.
city, I don't know.
It's just the one time, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
33 first page.
Progress to earnings, right?
150.
Oh, 150. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
got
I'd
it.
rather
I got it.
be
So we're gonna
under
make it 300.
permit besides
Yes, sir.
charging.
Right, thank you. Yeah, plus 300, yes, sir.
Oh, plus 300.
Yeah, it's gonna be total of 5, is that right? Yeah, total
Yeah.
of
But I
5.
know, like the Mexican restaurant in front of Walmart, he's got a food truck, he wants to clean up.
Yeah.
Let's
Regular.
see.
Yeah, we've been waiting on him for 3 weeks.
Next 3.
Yes, sir.
All this stuff, we just, you can't tell it.
No, I mean, it's, It's either, it's salary dependent or something. I think we just go to page 4, because
I don't see
I don't see
any
nothing there we can jack with.
collection expenses. Audit account. What's contract labor CH?
City Hall.
Oh,
Did we got rid of that miscellaneous expense, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So that shouldn't, yeah, so that shouldn't be showing there. At 400. Sorry, 1.66.999.
Miscellaneous expense.
So, the,
That's our hamburger.
well, but you should put hamburger expense. 'Cause that miscellaneous is just, that's heinous to me. I mean, you gotta know what you're spending your money on. So that's, we're gonna gain 400 there, right?
Yeah,
So that's gonna be plus 400. I'll cross that line out. We had, didn't we have another one that was like that?
mayor and council and, what was it? Business travel for mayor and council, have we done any of that?
No.
no.
And everybody needs to.
Where we gotta
What do
go?
we,
Y'all have, you're supposed to be taking classes.
It's all, we do them all on that.
Oh,
No cost nothing.
I've done, all the ones I've done, they're all online. I've got like freaking, I don't know how many.
but does the mayor need to go to some?
I mean, there's some that aren't mandatory, there's a bunch of those.
Yeah, there's a-
I don't know.
I don't think there's any that's mandatory. even for
I
the mayor.
personally think y'all need to go to that public funds investment class. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
really is.
Like we have something to invest.
I think the tax classes,
I
The
would,
tax classes are very important though.
They're-
I think they're.
that would be
need to go
what, I
that.
think everybody, yeah, that's good information.
What line item was that? Right, I
About
think-
166, 115. We've got $500 budgeted there.
Mayor, council, employee advance. What did we do with that? I can't remember. We did spend some money there.
166.
Do we know what the final bill is for the audit expense? Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanna leave that in there in case something needs to happen. I mean, me personally,
Audit,
me personally, if I have to go somewhere, if there was something, I'll pay for my own.
that's kind of what
So that's the reason I'm wondering if we could take it out for right now.
Take it out.
You go with that, Leon?
I'm good with
All
that.
right, that's another additional
Yeah.
500.
I can stay at home, but I don't have a problem.
I mean, I didn't volunteer to be a burden, I volunteered to get help. So that gives us
550.
16,150.
We just added 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't add the 400 yet. We need.
So we take out the 500,
Yeah, it just gives us, gives us a positive 500, so it's a plus 500 there.
oh, what about the travel, there's two lines.
I think that other one you might want to leave because I think that may have been like an appreciation lunch or something.
Oh, you mean, 116 or 115?
115 is the one we're taking out.
Yeah, 116 we would leave,
116 we leave,
because I think that may have been probably like Annette's lunch or something.
or something else, you know.
We need to appreciate it.
Buy pizza for the girls every once in a while or something.
I just, I don't know, those get expensive.
Where did
Those we're talking about first.
I just seen something that we were way over on that.
That's what I'm looking at, but the things that are, look like, the big numbers, we can't touch them.
No. There was something we were over on our expense already and we were forecasting,
And I hate to say, but postage has gone up,
right here.
so that
Yeah.
too is.
Dues and subscriptions. 1.66.119, we've only budgeted 2,100, but we've already spent 3,100.
But that'd be more.
How is that one? Well, we're 1,000 in the hole, right there.
So what all do we spend?
What comes out of dues and expenses, do you know? Kim?
That's
So there's subscriptions.
Dues and
Like-
subscriptions. Hey, wouldn't, you know that book we use, Kim, that has the annual,
What Texas
the
Cog.
updates?
A cog book.
Zoom.
And those are like,
Do we have to buy new those books?
I don't think we have to
No,
pay
but
for
they send
Zoom.
you
Every 2 years.
updates,
And they send you updates yearly.
Oh, okay.
and they're up there, but I don't know. They.
Yeah, and last year we only budgeted 1,700.
We spent 31.
Yeah.
Do we need to increase that?
That's what I was,
is it actual hardback books?
Yes.
Can you get it online where it's not a hardback and it's cheaper?
I just add to what's in there on the bookshelf. I don't know, I haven't looked.
Do you use it?
Oh, yeah. Like the Bible of the City.
Yeah, that book tells us all about like rules
I
for
wish we knew what came out of there, where that
Posting for
3,100 was at, because
publishing and all that stuff.
Well, I'm thinking that the 900 we just
We just add
scratched
to it.
off, we need to add to
that's what
that.
I was saying. We just make that one 3,000.
3,000, yeah.
So this one's gonna be,
4,000 city cleanup dumpsters, is that to keep walking beautiful?
sorry, Mayor, what did you say?
I'm on page 5, 169, 109, down from the fourth up from the bottom.
You done left us, Ben?
Huh?
He
done left us?
He already
Well,
left
we're
us,
on-
we were still on 4. That's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
What, again, what is HC Senior Resources?
That is, I did speak with Annette, and that is like Meals on Wheels. It's, I don't wanna say elderly,
We
but
just didn't have any this
Hunt
year.
County
Or the last year? We never used it.
opportunities.
Oh,
Okay, so is it something we're going to pay out before the year's out?
Yes.
Okay, so
well,
it
we
is
didn't, we
something.
didn't last year.
Or the year before?
Well, she said, should we need to call her and tell them you need an invoice?
Okay, so we're gonna plan on doing that.
So
We're planning on doing
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. I just wanted to know what it was for sure.
All right, page 5, we're
Page
on the
5.
same page as you, Mayor.
Man, there's just, I'm just seeing.
So we got 15,
We
650.
got ad security system, 4,800, that's ad. So if we have it,
Well, we spent
4,500, but we only budgeted 2,400, but don't we have all the security
Hazard mitigation plan.
that we're gonna get? That was new, that big number is, cameras and, isn't that right, John? Yeah, we had cameras and stuff, so I mean, I don't see us adding much more cameras
Well, are you talking about the cameras at the police
Well,
department,
around here.
around the building?
around here.
building.
Kim,
So
right after 166, 185,
Add security
add security system, what is that?
administration.
I mean, is that part of that hazard mitigation plan grant, Matt? I don't know, I'm not figuring this out because it doesn't have a line item.
It's got a line item, but no money.
It don't have a number, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't,
Oh,
it doesn't have a
okay.
ledger number,
Doesn't have a-
right? So when you're dealing with your P and L and you're dealing with there's gotta be a ledger number. It's not just add security system, it's gonna have a ledger number then the nomenclature.
Yeah, I see what you're saying right here.
Somebody wanted it to be added.
Isn't it weird? How's that
It
gonna
is
work?
16686.
What, say it again?
166186.
Okay, it just didn't end up on there.
6116.
Okay. All right, so
So do we need $4,800 in that one, John, to do anything else to our security system, or is that something?
is that for paying the bill or is that for adding stuff?
Because
Jim, do you know?
I
the,
think it's where we added.
the cameras that we added came out of the courthouse security.
The court technology.
Yeah.
But what about the plants, the water plant, sewer plant?
No, that probably came out of the budget, but, so that's where it came from? Are we gonna, we're not, I mean, we're planning on adding more this year? We just did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We
I don't
spent
know.
$4,570 already.
I mean, we're gonna have to add $4,800 worth of cameras
We
again
looked
next
the
year.
last couple of years, so that was a big upgrade for
I mean,
So
I'm not saying we may not have to add some, right? Because security is a big thing.
it. Right.
So, I mean, I wouldn't suggest that we pull all that out of there, but,
Take it from 48 to 18.
you know, and then you gain 3,000 on that line.
I like
I
that.
like that.
Go to 18.
That ain't paying for the ADT, is it?
Well, that's what I hope not. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
I don't know, I don't pay the bills.
Make it another one, you know,
Well,
to check on that.
Make sure that that's not the ADT bill. I don't think so, because
It seems like it's
It's
a lot of
gotta
money
be.
for cameras.
yeah, that's a lot.
I think it was expensive.
Yeah, 4,500.
I think it was fairly expensive to add the cameras. and
Well,
stuff.
and two, what's that? The box, the bottom box.
The
The
DVR?
DVR,
We had to replace it.
Yeah, that one. But we, how much did we pay for that? What?
Yeah, we replaced it with a new TV.
In here?
No.
Oh, you're, okay, we did here
the
too.
plant two had to have a new one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because it couldn't hold that many cameras.
you think it's the bill, John?
Yeah, it might be. If they added one and they added one a year. then-
So I guess, Kim, maybe if you can make sure it's not the bill. If it's the bill, we better leave it alone. But if it's not the bill, I think, yeah, we knock that one down to 1,800.
Bill
Because
or
we can-
upgrade.
If we just keep the alarms pads on the building, on the doors, and do away with ADT camera system, because we have camera systems that, you know, I mean, like, that's an ADT. We've got the blink that records the whole time. And blink all the way around the building here.
Okay,
That's
Okay.
access from our phones or
good.
computer, where the ADT one is only from that monitor back there.
Should be able to do it from your phone.
I think we have to pay
It freezes my
extra.
phone up every time I travel.
They got an app called Pulse, I can look up the store right now and look at it.
All of these are run off of these.
What's down on page 5?
Not anymore. I mean, the rest of them, there's some that we don't have any cost in, but I would think with some of the stuff that we're gonna have going on this next year, we would. Demolition costs.
You know, we're talking last week, on re-inspections. I thought when we got BV, they had charged re-inspections. It was their whole selling point.
They don't charge for re-inspections, but when we have contractors that are failing an inspection 4 or 5
Oh,
times for the
If
same
it's,
inspection,
if it gets
we're gonna
habitual,
start charging them re-inspections, because otherwise they're just gonna keep doing it.
or if it gets
So is it
habitual,
stupidity.
I don't know what the deal is, but if it gets habitual, she's gonna start charging re-inspection, because obviously, if she has to deal with the same thing 5 times, then it's cost the city money.
Yeah,
So I think it's warranted.
Like, for instance, I had one
Okay.
call in a form inspection and they were missing half their boards.
Page 6, right?
yeah.
Jeez. I think that's gonna get tougher and tougher.
What's the contingency fund for, what is 6? Where are we starting out on
Also,
It's
yeah.
still code compliant.
So 169992 contingency.
Yeah,
We didn't use it before, hadn't used it
We
this
used
year.
1,977 out of it. Do we know
We
what that
said
was?
That was
That's
posted.
Postage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's your ribbon?
I'm off. I didn't bring one.
you have any idea what that big,
What contingency is contingency comes up with, unexpected things that happen, like, my contingency fund, the air conditioning went out and we took money out for a new air conditioning unit. $3,200 out of it for a, installation of a new, air conditioner.
And honestly, I'm thinking part of that might be used for trying to figure out on some of these houses that need to come down where we can't find owners and we need to do some kind of search. We may have to pull it from there. Because we don't have a line item for that, but it could come. from there.
Contingency is definitely a better word than miscellaneous.
yeah,
I agree.
definitely. Yeah.
I
All
agree.
day long. Cell phone.
So we'll leave that one
Trying to fool
alone
y'all.
because you did just have something that
Instead of
would make half
miscellaneous,
that
they
up.
have contingency.
Yeah, we did a survey that was $1,400.
I don't know
But
where
it
that
sounds
came from,
better.
Me neither.
but it might be a good idea to look at where it came from. So yeah, that $1,400 survey
$2,500 for fuel,
would have came out of there.
that's $200 a month. $50 a week.
It's about $90 a tank right now.
Huh?
About $90 a tank right now.
How long is it last?
Gotta wait.
No more than you drive it.
Well, she's gonna start driving it more and more.
Right.
Yeah, So,
And the gas is gonna go up.
Yeah.
But I hate to touch that.
I hate to play with it too.
That's the only thing I'm seeing so far, except for,
Yes.
animal control deal.
And if we could predict that one, we'd all be rich.
Man. What's the 16.8 animal control?
That's that animal control.
Is
That
that the
company,
contract? That what we gotta pay them every year?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
yearly expense for it.
Cheaper than hiring someone to do it. You know.
Yeah, but
and building the facility.
I'd like to see how successful they are, and does it make a difference?
And I don't know, we don't pay that all at once. We make a monthly payment.
Fate likes
Yeah,
them.
but still, this is a annual budget,
It's
so
gonna be that.
whether it's monthly, weekly, or whatever, I mean,
I think we need it.
If we don't, like, hold it sits there until next year.
I know Fate likes them. I asked Fate about them. That's where I seen the truck, was in Fate.
oh,
Um,
yeah, that's right.
we'll never know until we try it. I mean, I don't think that amount of money. I mean, it would definitely help us if we combine it, but I would hate for that to be the thing we pull out personally. That's my opinion.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
We may not pay it next year. We may say, oh, that wasn't very good for us.
Down on, salary, I'm looking, what's 218, I know what 218 green is, proposed budget, but what's 256.72?
That's if we had a part-time officer.
So a part-time's gonna make $38,772.
Well, that's, I guess, paying with all of the FICA and stuff.
You know,
FICA
FICA
should be on the
separate.
FICA line, right?
FICA's separate.
Separate,
You gotta give them insurance
and
too.
the insurance.
Yeah.
That you did. I said at the last meeting.
You said, you told me you wasn't gonna take insurance.
Depending on who I hire
Oh,
in the part-time. The one that I was wasn't gonna, but now he don't want it, so. There's another one that does, but she's gonna want the insurance in return because she don't have none.
And we're gonna do that on a part-time officer.
32.
32 hours or more is, considered full-time.
man.
There's a bunch right there if we could get by without that.
Yeah, that's simple.
Well, there's 4 of us right now. We can try to, see how it works.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if we, It's 32 hours, chief? See, because your insurance and your retirement's shouldn't be factored into the salary, right?
It's on a separate line item.
No.
So,
No, that's just adding the part-time is from 20
It's just
to
salary.
18.
That's
It's gonna be
his salary.
2.6.
well, I know, but that math, if we add the part-time, like the mayor said, that's 38,672. What are we paying this person an hour?
Well, see, and then actually it starts out at 21 an hour, and after 90 days goes to 22, and then after 6 months goes to 23. You go ahead and do all of it. So actually, the whole salary of 23 won't be all year long, it'll only be the last 6 months of the year.
I might open the thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, I see I see where it's coming from then, because at the $32 an hour, $23 an hour, and it's lengthy all of a sudden. That's basically the 38,000. Okay. You must use your calculator.
I've already checked.
I know, I was commending you. Good job hitting that button on the calculator.
I ciphered it.
So how much would the insurance be on that? 10 or 12,000?
Oh, just changed, so what's that new figure now?
Employee insurance go from 37,368 to 49,824.
That's what that,
Yeah, 12,000.
basically, yeah.
The city's paying $1,019 per employee.
And the FICA would
Run from 1790 to 20. So 370 something.
Just call it 3,000.
so that's 47,000.
Yeah. Hang on.
Let's keep looking.
I don't see anything else in here we do. The travel training is mainly
Well, look at
used.
page 7 and come back to 6 if we need to.
Finish it with page 6. We're almost there. I think we're gonna have to come back and revisit it anyway.
I know, but I don't see anything else on page 6
I don't either.
that we can touch. That's what I'm saying. If we go
You
on,
should come back to it, so.
well, if we're gonna have to
Oh, okay.
do anything with our
Yeah,
part-time thing.
I got you.
Did we ever decide what our two numbers were? Depending on what tax rate to go with? Our deficit, that's what we all need to think about too.
Compared to what we had on there before.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, do we have a math of what our deficit is with each rate?
About
Total deficit,
35,000.
that's what we needed, was that number.
35,000. And then the other one would have been 65,000. Yes.
I'm not seeing a lot of first half of page 7 either.
Mhm.
You could have John claim his own office.
I was thinking,
Yeah, if that don't make up. What we say, 3765?
Something like that. You don't know what.
Is that really all we're off?
No, it's gotta be more than that. 'Cause we were, I think it was 100,000 before we got these new tax rates. somewhere close to 100,000, wasn't it?
It was, 72,000 we were off before. And then, the new tax rates were off.
Yeah, but that,
Just a minute. Hmm.
I think the impound, that's all you would bring in if you do get that going, is 10,000?
No, I was just estimating since it's gonna be just freshly opened.
I mean, you had one over in East Walking, right? Do you have any idea what that generated
107, yeah.
107,000.
a year?
I don't know, a year, I mean, sometimes, one auction. I think when we first put the cameras in over there, the LP cameras, the first one in 3 months was like $12,000 from the offer. But we paid out $8,000 in record fees for it, so. So it was about $4,000 for 3 months.
I thought y'all's record fees pretty much got paid in, paid out.
Yeah.
So you cleared 4,000 in a month?
You know, if somebody, oh, no, if they come back and get their vehicle, they're gonna pay the impound plus
Yeah.
the total.
Yeah.
You're talking about people that don't come back for the vehicle.
Well, that was all of it over a 3-month period.
Okay.
Them come picking it up and having to sell them out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get that, that's a nice conservative number, I guess. I mean, it could end up over a year's time being more than that, but I don't think that's.
You know how much fuel you're buying a month is right now?
I'd have to go look.
I think you're gonna spend $7,000 between August 11th and end of September.
Probably not.
That one scares me.
Yeah.
I think we changed one of the fuel line items on Public Works last year.
We don't know how far it's gonna go up.
Freaking prices changed and screwed that all up.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that because that fuel
Gotcha.
price is going to go up. It's going
Wait a minute, where'd you get 7,000?
Well, the
Oh,
budget is 20,
if he's gonna use 7,000 more, I
right,
guess. Yes.
to meet his budget.
Hmm.
If he's not, then you could shave a little bit off of that, maybe.
And what about bicycles?
Golf cart.
Motorcycles.
Then we'd have to buy dog spray.
Mhm.
Keep it from getting bit.
If
I
I
know we're
get,
gonna have animal control.
if I get my all-electric cars, my whole fleet.
You're gonna melt the grid down on us?
And my whole, we'll see when I put solar panels all on the roof here and charge my cars, we won't have to worry about it.
See anything here?
I don't see any other public works. We can't do any more roads, we gotta have roads. We got 10,000 on equipment purchase, what's that for?
He told us the last time.
I don't know what that's for,
Well,
but
he was talking about on the
Ain't
next.
gonna buy much.
10,000 ain't gonna buy much.
No, I think he was, I think by the time he was talking on the next year's budget, adding a truck or two or something.
Yeah,
Right, but I think he said something about buying a new brush hog.
no, he was talking about a brush hog, we don't need that, Kevin and I looked at that, they won't need a brush hog, all we gotta have is a wheel. That brush hog still cuts.
A well,
Will.
oh, well,
But
yeah, I got you.
I think a couple $100 is what,
Yeah.
to repair that bush hog. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're planning on buying, to be honest.
Why do we reduce, rock, sand and paving material?
Well, we didn't reduce it, remember? We ended up doing well.
Well,
Did
it's
he
on
find
here.
that 16 loads?
I don't.
Did he ever come up with that?
I don't know. But if you look at the budget and actual for last year and then the budget for this year, it's only $110,000 for all the road material. And that's a big decrease from last year.
I think though he was gonna try
Well, not
to
from
go
what we
away
budgeted.
from,
Not from what we budgeted. It's a decrease from the actual.
We went over
We went-
$50,000.
we went over a lot.
Yeah, no,
Right, but what you're saying, but we still increased it over last year as far as our budget. We just totally missed the budget this year.
yeah, but don't we, to me, it ought to be raised up to work closer to the actual for this year because it did go up. To me, I'm looking at the proposed budget for this next year.
Michael said though he was gonna look at different materials. He was gonna look
Yeah,
at
we're gonna-
the asphalt, the
Reclaimed.
reclaimed asphalt.
We're not gonna use near,
interior,
yeah, we're not gonna use near as much of the oil sand this year
And it's like a third of the cost.
as we did, but here's the other thing. I don't think he's got that 16 loads we talked about worked out yet. Done that
I
actual.
can't remember what it was. I can't remember.
I don't think he does. Me and him talked about it.
The last time he told me,
Kevin,
Randy,
do you remember when I was at the plant last week? What was that, like Thursday? And I was talking to Michael and he said he's got all the files and all this. He had Grady's file. He had city's
There
file.
was 3
That was
files.
like Thursday, right?
Yeah. There's 3
So
files.
that was Thursday and he left Friday after Friday.
yeah,
So he hasn't worked that out, but there's 16 loads that were,
right.
those loads are like almost 3,000 apiece. Let's
Yeah,
just,
we
let's just call them 2,500, right? That's $40,000. So we should be closer to what we budgeted.
Yeah, I wish we had a better answer than that. On what's going on with those 16 loads.
Right.
Because we ended up coming under that the year before, that's when we told them to buy it up. Spend the money.
I think what happened is they sent us the invoice, somehow the invoice got
A loss.
flipped over, whatever, and we didn't pay it in last year's fiscal year because we didn't pay the bill. You confirmed we didn't pay the bill
Yeah,
until November,
November.
which was in this budget year.
Exactly.
So that means those 16 loads got paid out of this year's budget and it should have been paid out of last year's budget. So that's 40 grand you take off of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that still makes us 48,000. So that puts us right in where we budgeted this year. Where'd Chief go? 'Cause I'm afraid we're picking me back on his page.
No, Parks Department.
Okay, so we're on page 8 with Parks Department now.
Well, we were just talking about, Public Works, that top, the rock sand, strip of paving material, but there's nothing else left on there. So we can't touch any of that. I just hope we don't have to, squeeze to make a big change somewhere we don't need to be.
We got that park utilities way high.
I remember when we changed that.
I don't know why the heck we raised it that much when our actual's only 1,200.
Yeah, but we're paying out of occupancy tax, and then we're reimbursing. So is that correct?
Well, if that's the case, then why is there any actual then? Did it get moved already? No?
No, we're moving it next.
So leave that alone, okay. I remember what you're talking about, but I don't know why there's an actual in it. I guess that's what had me confused.
Yeah.
So do we need to put a question mark on that $10,000 equipment purchase?
Okay, Kevin, what do you see us buying this year? I don't remember us talking about, except for a mower, except for a bush hog.
Yeah, that wouldn't cost $2,000.
No,
The
about
trailer.
2,800 for a decent one.
And you wanted to buy another mowing tractor,
But you ain't gonna buy one for 10,000.
not one that's any better than what we got.
Unless you wanna buy another one equal to the boom mower.
Yeah.
Because that's about what you're gonna get.
No, we don't
To
do
buy a
that.
tractor worth a flip, it's gonna be 30, 40,000.
You got enough antiques.
No, I agree.
We don't even know what we work on.
So I don't know what we're gonna buy for 10,000.
So let's question mark that and ask Mike if we need to fix
We're not
that.
gonna ask him
Well,
tonight.
he ain't gonna be here. He's
He's
on
on
vacation.
vacation all this week.
We're gonna have to make a decision without him.
Looks like he don't get nothing.
What y'all gonna,
That-
well, hang
He
on.
can speak for you.
I could see where this would be equipment, but no, this is not water sewer. Water sewer equipment.
Yeah, this general
pumps-
fund.
Pumps and all that come out of water sewer.
Yeah,
General fund equipment, general fund is gonna be
Road.
roads.
we bought the roller, right? Is that money out of there?
It's,
Where do you spend that? Where's that money come out of?
Wouldn't you just go to?
Come out of general fund.
which, commerce. I think it was-
Texarkana?
Texarkana was the roller.
That's a
But
roller.
that came out of the truck money,
Okay.
insurance.
Oh, that's right.
Cold. No, it wouldn't be out of.
God, what would you buy equipment for roads is 10,000? I don't know. You're not gonna buy much of anything.
Any kind of trailer.
Repairs, we don't need any, we're good on trailers.
Okay.
We're Gucci on trailers.
So do we scratch that?
I hate to, cause I'm trying to think, do we have a repairs line in, I didn't,
You just have
Street
street
repairs.
repair.
no, I'm talking about like equipment repair.
Equipment and rental, but I don't see where.
Maintenance repair right there, 1,800. See, that's the only thing I could think that if we had to repair something. Do you know if the weed eaters and,
There is equipment maintenance and supplies for 18.
yeah, I see that. We'll leave that alone, but do you know if weed eaters and chainsaws and stuff like that, where would they come out of if we bought those? Are those considered water sewer or do we general
It
fund?
depends, well, some of them we do out of general fund if it's for the park or, you know,
He's got 1,800 for repairs over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, we're good. I looked at that one.
we do.
I don't know what we're gonna purchase this year,
Weed eaters.
not for 10,000. Now, we may have to purchase a weed eater or a chainsaw or, some small tools, but 10,000 ain't gonna buy any kind of big tool.
When were we gonna adopt a budget? I'm just trying to think, well, Michael will be here next Monday. Before we pull
Well,
the
we
trigger.
don't have it thought out this week and
Well, I know.
I don't think we're gonna wanna do the
We can wait till next week. to adopt it.
agenda.
I won't be
Where you going?
You're gonna be on vacation.
Did y'all sign that request?
You and
It's
Jim
like
did.
taking off at my work at Christmas time. You can't do that.
I don't remember
You
that.
and Jim.
I don't remember that. We're gonna have to talk about this.
Well, that's why I say, let's do it, this is the only big ticket item.
So that's $10,000. What, that gives us 25 and we were
That, we were 30,
35?
35, 34,
So that gives us
it brings us down,
25, brings us within $10,000.
yeah. That's y'all agree this is the one big ticket item that we're looking at, that we don't know anything about, that we're thinking about cutting out, only because we don't know what it's potentially for. And hold up and not do the adopting of the budget till next week. That way we can get Michael and find out what he had in mind on that. It may be something that none of us are thinking of that's just crucial and we can't get rid of it. But we're not gonna know until next week.
Shannon, do you see building slowing down at all next year?
No.
So she's off on her numbers then on income. They're super conservative.
Super.
Oh, you talking about permits?
So I think we need to go back and revisit that.
They are super.
I'm telling you, they're way super, because right now you got COs on new homes, we're at 14,120, we're budgeting
Here's my
15,000. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. All these homes that are being built right now are not gonna get COs until our next budget anyway.
right.
Well, they're already paid for though.
The CO is, oh, you're making them pay for the COs up front?
They pay for everything up
Okay,
front.
but
So here's what the builds. We have potentially some very large builds coming in.
I think she's 5 and 10 off.
Hundreds of
Telling you.
houses. 2.5 of those properties, those builds would have to be annexed in. One, absolutely not a problem getting it annexed. Another one,
That Vanceville,
no,
No,
the one we
No.
talked about, you and I
Dover.
talked about,
it is not. It's Kings.
Dover and Kingsbridge.
okay.
So that
Okay.
annexation, not worried about it at all.
Yeah.
If he comes in, we get it annexed and he breaks ground and he's ready to break ground, and I do believe he's serious, we're looking at about 200 homes right there. If the other one annexes in, I think we're looking at another 100 homes. That is a questionable annex, because some of the property owners, I think, will fight it. Then we have another huge chunk of property that is partially in the city and partially county.
Yeah.
And I believe that they want to annex the county part in, which is doable. That's another 200 to 300 homes.
Well, that's the reason why I brought those up.
Protected,
The Kim event,
that's a high risk on if they actually break ground and build them in a year. I mean, that's where my fear comes in.
I think on 1.50, 135 and 1.52, 111, those two. The first one, I think we're 5 off and 10 off. I think it's +5 +10. That's 20 and 68,000. And I still think you're under.
we're,
I mean, I showed you numbers,
I know, and I still think you're
and
under.
that was cutting it,
So
Do you wanna move the building?
that was cutting it in half.
I think building
That's a
permits should
lot
be
of houses.
68,000 and,
68,000?
it's 58 right now
Oh, it is?
I mean, we
on
did
income.
a lot, and then
We're
I
at
have another
53,
neighborhood,
376 right now.
I have another neighborhood that I know, there's discussion of like 40 to 60 lots being sold, that would be built on.
1.52.1111. And then the line right up, and then the line right above it.
Okay.
I think we need to go from 15,000 to 20 and 58,000 to 68,000.
That would cut it, that would narrow the gap.
That fills it. That fills the gap right there. We just gotta tell her this so she can go back to her income. And I think if we run all these numbers, I think we should come back at close to zero.
However, when you raise that income, you better raise that expense on inspections coming out of mine, because that's not all income.
Where's it at?
It's gonna be under code and it's in.
Good.
Because the permit inspections come out of my code budget,
Good eye, good eye.
and we majorly exceeded that this year, obviously.
What's the number?
I'm looking for,
169,101. It's 169,101.
Yep.
I know, is it under code? No.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
169,
contract
that's it.
labor inspections.
Yeah, 169,101.
All of what we pay BB comes out of that, and that's for all their plan review and their inspections.
The first one is gonna be an increase on,
So the 169,101 is the contract labor inspection. We have 43,000 there, and we need to go to where?
20, I mean,
Yeah.
20,000, and then the next one goes to 68. Okay, and then we need to go back here and add 43, which it all doesn't go to them. 53, so it's 20,000 off. So we probably need to add what,
How much are you going up?
What line item?
went up 10. So we probably need to add 5,
I'd say at least 5.
that's what I was thinking.
To building permit.
169, 101.
101, that needs to be 43 or 48.
Is that on building permit?
Okay, I'll show you.
Yeah, well, we're just taking our income and
First of
then
all,
going on
we added
expense.
here, we added, 150, 135 on page 1.
Oh, I got all that.
Okay, we added 20,000 here. She thinks it'll go up.
Well, 5 and 10.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the next one, down from 58,000 up to 68,000.
So
Okay, and then,
with every building permit, your CO's gonna go up $100, your CSI is gonna go up $150 for every building permit.
Okay. I was just wondering what, since I went to the bathroom.
yeah, and then 169, 101.
Contract labor.
So that should give us about
We went up to
25,
48,000.
650, I think, if I count this math up. Oh, no. 38, 672. I think we just let you
All right.
I think we just let you run the numbers on what all damage we have.
So to answer your question on that 10,000 for Max, he said tractor.
A
ain't gonna buy a
tractor,
tractor.
that's what it was.
That's the response I got.
I ain't gonna buy a tractor.
I don't need one.
You can't even buy our lawnmower we just bought for that.
Got sales some equipment for
And it's just gonna be a piece of junk if he gets one for
it.
that.
It's just like be an 80 in or something.
One of them old Fords like you got,
No, I got
a new Hall.
a new Holland.
Yeah, we had an old Ford.
We had an old
So you can't buy a
They
tractor for
made a big
10,000.
one.
It bought good to us.
Well,
Okay.
we barely just bought a 1970 roller for 10,000. I don't know. I think, no, let's just leave it there because I think it could be other equipment, but there's no way it can be a tractor. There's no tractor for $10,000 out there that's gonna last through a year.
Not worth buying. Okay, so are we pretty wrapped up for now?
I think we're gonna be close if we run these numbers.
Well, let's run them with the 10 in it. And,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We leave only
Leave the 10 in
on
there.
the notes that we've got so far,
Right,
and we run these numbers. I think we're within a couple thousand.
we'll run
If
with
we
the,
get the voter approved rate.
yeah. Well, let's run them with the 10 in it. Was it a contingency? What are the,
It's equipment.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Leave it in there, and then we'll come back and visit it. But tomorrow's agenda, we got the same thing on the agenda, so basically y'all agree, there's no sense in rehashing all this out again.
No,
Well, except for the numbers, we'll look at the new numbers and see where we're at.
Yeah.
Make some
Yeah, you'll probably have the numbers all
And
the
then
time.
we got, notice of the election for place 1, 3, and 5. So, okay. All right.
Okay. So notice of election tomorrow, and then we'll learn the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll hear what the math
Changes.
worked out
Change it.
after John used his calculator. They're so good with it.
Okay, we're down to number 10.
I'll make a motion with adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Kevin Featherston.
Leon Meyer.
Pam Reed.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a great night. That was fun. I like when it works.
Well, usually that's been easier than this over the years.
I know.
Difficult buttons we were at the mess.
It's fun though.
Guys, thank y'all for coming up.
Yeah, thank y'all very
I
much.
really-
That was
I really do.
kind of boring for y'all, but appreciate it.
I'm sure they're about to fall asleep.
Hey, you got